High-tech versus low-tech. One needs a socket, the other needs spine. Hello and welcome back to episode 6 of the Prepper Network podcast, where we deep dive into high-tech versus low-tech and what still works when the power's gone. I'm your host Lewis, along with Frank and Jim. Jim, are you team plug-in or are you team elbow grease?
I'm more inclined towards being team elbow grease, actually. And I think that has to do with my childhood. Because as a child, I pretty much grew up in my dad's garage. And the garage was not a garage. It was a 15-meter long mechanical, metal, and wood workshop. So I spent a lot of time there, and I got to, even though he had a lot of machines, I learned to work with metal and wood with hand tools.
The basics.
And so, for example, I love files for filing, metal files. So I always reach for the manual stuff before I reach for the tools. I only go for the tools when it would be too much work to do it manually, because you get the feel for when you do it manually, you feel everything you do. So I like that better. And also when it comes to prepping, I think that, 2 is 1 and 1 is none, that all say, or you should have 3 ways of doing everything. I think the first way should be the like bomb-proof, no need for electricity stuff. Like you get a manual screwdriver before you get the electrical one. So I think, and I usually start by buying the manual stuff before I go to the machines. And in a crisis scenario, I would probably be more inclined to go to hammer and nails than screws, for instance. What do you say, Frank?
To agree with you on that. Absolutely. I think learning the basics with our grandfather's plane or screwdriver or the handheld drill. There's a name on them. Can't even think how to sharpen a saw. You can get a jigsaw now, which is electric, but you can't beat a hand saw that's been sharpened by yourself and being able to cut a tree that uses nothing, only you. Again, with screwdrivers, now you have electric drills. I do remember when I was a kid, I was trying to make a milk bottle holder at the end of our gate, which is a big long driveway. And I needed a huge extension lead to drill into the wall for a power drill, but we didn't have batteries them days. Actually, we didn't have them in them days, they weren't even out. But I always thought we need cordless battery, something to make it easier. But our grandfathers did it successfully. Come on, they built the whole of Europe with spit and polish, hammer and nail, and the rest easy enough. But now for convenience, people do tend to use batteries and drills because you can charge it with solar and so on. But I'm like you. If I was living in the woods, I think I would go the traditional route and use hammer and nail, hand drill, manual plane where you have to sharpen it yourself with a sharpening stone. I've done all of that back in the day when I left school, or during school we did it as well. We had woodworking classes to do all of that. Stood by you over the years there later. You'll never forget that kind of stuff. As I say, knowledge weighs nothing. So to be able to make a chair or table from nothing, a tree stump, it's fantastic. What do you think, Jim? Or Lewis?
Yeah, no, I think I also agree on this one, because again, I used to watch my father work on cars and bikes and make tables and chairs from wood, and he almost always used hand tools.
Spit and polish.
And also my grandfather, he was very handy when it comes to, DIY and things like that. But also from a prepping point of view, hand tools are a lot more sustainable because they're going to be, I say never, they're never going to fail you, should I say, or what I wanted to say, but that's not true. They can always fail you sometimes. but they're going to be more sustainable because also I think you're going to need your power. Like if there's a grid down situation, you're going to need your batteries and your solar for other things
Oh,
really than for power tools that are going to consume your batteries in no time. Obviously
they might be
depending on the job.
quicker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
depending on the job, obviously, because I think there is a time and a place for a power tool depending on the job.
Yes, and
Plus, you want to
it
keep the
doesn't have
noise
to be
down.
either or. It can be both. For example, let's say it's not the end of the world thing. It's just like inflation has made everything very expensive. So if you know how to use a metal file and you have a chainsaw, then you sharpen the chainsaw chain with the file, which you should do anyway, but I would guess that many people that owns a chainsaw, they will just exchange the chain, and then they wouldn't change the sword either because they don't know they should. And they would just buy a new chain. They would run it out way before it
Yeah.
needed to be run out. And just getting the if you understand how the basics work, you will have better use of the power tools and stuff like
Mm,
that. And that is with everything. I mean, it's in the kitchen and it's in the garden, it's everything. Know
yeah.
how to do the basic stuff before, or not basic, because it isn't basic. It's harder often than using some of the machines. For just as another example, I I am from the laboratory side of medicine in my when I work, and where in our education we do when we were supposed to learn, we did things manually. We dipped things in solutions and stuff like that, but that's not really how things work. If you go to a modern laboratory, it's machines, it's robots that do a lot of stuff, but you need to
Yeah.
understand what the robot is doing.
Yeah.
So I'm very much team elbow grease. Know how to do it manually. Have the means to do it manually before you go like for the mechanical help. Then you will probably, if you're gonna do something not for leisure, you're gonna do it for you need to produce something. Then you will probably have to go like more high tech.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, the
I and
consensus here among prepping and homesteading experts in the power tool versus superior, they said power tools are superior for rapid, large-scale productivity, where manual tools are indispensable for long-term reliability and off-grid endurance. That's a consensus in 2025. I just checked it out there. So
yeah.
what they're saying basically is power tools have a life, whereas a lifespan, whereas manual tools will go on forever, and you can hand them down, and you can use your grandfather's tools, which is a
Yeah.
Yes.
great thing.
And if you
Yes.
can find yours or someone else's grandfather's or grandmother's old wood saw with fileable teeth, you should
Mhm.
get it because those are really, really hard to come by and can get
Yeah.
really expensive and they don't make them anymore.
Mm.
All of mine got robbed apparently when I moved.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we live in a throwaway society now, and things are produced to be thrown
Exactly.
away now, and they're not produced to last anymore. And I mean, you can still get things that last, but they, like you say, they cost a bit more expensive. But even when it's not something that's meant to be thrown away, people are so quick. Oh, it's broken. I'm going to throw it away and buy a new one, rather than thinking, well, what's wrong with it? Well, how can I
Yeah.
fix it? Rather than just throwing it away and buying a new one. But that's the society.
Mm.
That's the society we live in nowadays.
Yeah.
So
I think my dad, he was always fixing stuff, and he was also making he fixed stuff, and it was probably more expensive and definitely more time consuming to fix it than it would have been to replace it. But he kind of like made a thing out of it that he should fix it. So and I
Mm.
think that mentality is kind of cool, and I think I carry it with me because if you can fix it, you often learn something. I mean, I have some memory of like like the children's sand toys. Like the small lorries and cars and stuff that you drive in the
Mm.
sandbox. And I mean, they are not expensive at all. But I remember that one of those kind of the wheel broke off the axle or something like that. So he fixed it and he kind of like glued it with 2-component glue. And that glue probably cost more than the toy,
Hmm.
Yeah.
I would guess.
Yeah. Well, no,
So
that's exactly it. It does cost more to fix some things, but like you said, a great point there is yes, but the value you get from learning how to fix something is far greater.
yeah.
Yeah.
And for me as a child at the time, I was taught that you just don't, okay, you broke a thing and we will not just replace it with a new one. So then you'll have a fixed one. The
Yeah.
same, but
As you
fixed.
said, as Lewis said, it's a throwaway society at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I have 6 or 7 saws in my workshop out there that I think they're just as cheap to go and buy a brand new one, and they're super sharp. I do have the oil stones, and I have the chisels that I sharpen whenever I need them, and I have all the I know how to do it. I was shown when I was a kid, shown how to do them, and as you said, my grandfather passed on his bit of knowledge, so I don't have kids myself, but if I did, I have showed my nieces and nephews, of course, and, with a bit of luck, they'll show their kids as they go along, so it's invaluable. I think it's invaluable.
You could also make an argument for the high tech versus low tech with take shoes for an example. As an example, a low tech shoe could be like a leather shoe with a rubber, not EVA foam, rubber sole, and they are quite. That would be like the low tech. It's they're often manually made, so they would be expensive, but they could be maintained forever
Mm.
much. I mean, like you find they dig up like World War I soldiers and it's like the bones and the shoes left. It's like the
Yeah.
boots and the bones, that's what's left. It's
Leather.
insane.
Yeah.
But if you buy like the coolest Gore-Tex shoes with some other fabric and EVA foam, they can be almost as expensive and they will last you like 2 years. Then the membrane will rip at parts inside
Break
the
down.
shoe and they will lose like the waterproofness. And if it's stored a bit too moist, then the EVA foam will crumble and the shoe will fall apart.
Yeah.
And so the high tech is not necessarily they are often more comfortable at first, but like a well-worn in
Mm.
leather shoe can be really
A
nice.
leather shoe can be used for sharpening your instruments as well.
Yeah.
A leather strap, remember?
Yeah, but and they can be repaired. I mean, low tech, so to speak, or old tech are often repairable,
Mm.
Mhm.
while new
Also,
tech is made to not be repairable. It's made to be replaced, as you said,
we
Lewis.
also have
Yeah.
the argument here, low tech, and we go low tech prepping candles and wood stoves. So, like
Yeah,
candles, the pros and cons of the low tech. So the
yeah,
pros for a candle would be like they're simple, they're affordable, you can make them yourself. They're really lightweight and you can relight it. They also give off heat and they require no electricity.
no.
But they have a limited illumination timeline compared to the modern LED lights. It could be a potential fire hazard and they could be used up really quick.
But it's like
That as well.
the episode that the last episode or one of the previous episodes that we did. It's a convenience. We've got into this convenient world
Yeah.
where everything's convenient and everything's this. But it's funny you should mention clothes and shoes because over here in Italy there are still lots of repair shops
Road
around where you can go
makers.
in. Yeah, and a cobbler. Still, there's still quite a few of them around.
Yeah,
Whereas if you get in the UK now, you wouldn't just probably struggle to find a shop where they repair shoes, and they're really busy. I had to fix some shoes, and I had to wait ages because he
yeah,
was that busy. It's just a guy
Mm.
with manual tools, and he
Hobbling
was
away.
just there. Yeah, and he was just cobbling away, and like, yeah, I had to wait ages because he was so busy, and I was like, wow, this guy is that's insane. But but yeah, so it's and the same for clothes. If they're nice clothes or whatever, why just throw them away and why not fix them? I've got a few shirts that I need to go get fixed. I still
yeah,
haven't got around to doing them. But yeah, rather than throw them away, like it's only like a little tear, a tiny little tear where the seams come undone.
yeah.
Like it's easy enough to fix.
Mm.
Yeah, I would love to see more tailors.
Yeah.
Well, they
because
are a
they
thing
are
of the past,
really,
as I said.
yeah, yeah, but also,
They're being made by third world countries, Pakistan, Bangladesh kind of places. Very, very cheap to make. So, we are, as you said, in a throwaway society. Just get something, use it once, throw it away. That's the way, unfortunately, that's the way it's gone. But,
However, however you
however,
say that, there are still, handmade clothes around now. But the thing is, they just cost a lot of money because now
yeah,
it's become so common to have all these high tech, should we say, ways and methods of making clothes. And but the thing is, sometimes they can still cost as much because once a brand gets so well known,
yeah,
uh,
you then pay for the name, even though it's mass produced. Like like as Jim said, you can sometimes pay just the same to have something handmade.
yeah.
yeah,
And um, I
it's actually nice to
usually,
have something handmade.
yeah,
Mm.
I usually enjoy like selecting stuff very carefully, maybe like mind shopping around and really think about what I want. And when I decide actually I want that thing, I will get that exact thing and I can pay like comparatively a lot for it. But it will last me, if not my lifetime, it will last me a long, long time. I
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
an example, and that is I was gonna get a suit, a dark blue suit, and so I took my wife, then girlfriend, to go to Stockholm with me and get a suit, and she thought that he's gonna take forever. He's gonna take forever doing this, and we will probably never get away from here with the suit. But I had done my research, and I knew exactly what I wanted, and I was also willing to pay for it. So we went to this little obscure Italian suit shop, and
Mm.
I found the guy working there was like 60-year-old Italian. So I just told him I want this and this and this and this, and he brought me like four suit jackets that to my wife looked identical. And she did not see the difference in those. And I was like, oh, not that one, and I tried to, and I'm gonna have this one. And then we tried the pants, and I was like, fine, perfect. How long do you need to do the corrections? And they were like, we can do it in 2 hours.
Wow.
So we went and had lunch, and I was like, I got that one, the suit, and my wallet was like 1,500 euros lighter. And I
What?
went home, and my wife was, or the girlfriend was stunned because she thought, what? Firstly, you paid that amount for a
For a
suit?
blue
And I was like,
suit?
yeah, but I'm gonna have one suit, and this suit I will have for 15 years.
I
And
think blue
and
has
I
gone
got
out now at
married
this
in that
stage.
suit. So
Yeah.
so if you get the good stuff, and you're willing to like sacrifice, you like buy once, cry once. You
Yeah.
yeah,
I've never heard that. That's good. Buy once, cry once. That's funny. There's also another good point I want to make when it comes to prepping and a skill that people should learn that I would like to learn. And it sounds quite wild, but also is knitting. Because the reason why I say that,
yeah.
because my grandmother, right, and my mother, I remember when I was younger, used to knit my clothes. And I remember
All
I
did.
used to
My
have
mother's the same.
my jumpers were all knitted, and sometimes when they got too small, whatever, or they used to unknit things and then remake a
Add
bigger
on a
one.
bit to the middle.
Yeah,
I
and
think
they used to,
everybody in my school at the time had knitted clothes. We all came in. There must have been a run on red fucking. Sorry, excuse my French. There must have been a run on red knitting darn or whatever. But all
yeah,
of us had the same patterns. I think it
yeah.
might have been on the local TV, and pattern was free in the newspaper. And next thing, everybody in my class had it. I remember that stuff so well. Shorts, socks, and a knitted jumper. Weird.
My favorite jumper was a dinosaur jumper when I was younger, and it was knitted. And some of my favorite clothes were they were all knitted. So I think it's an a priceless skill to learn as preppers. Because and again, those clothes will last you a lifetime.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
wife actually does knitting. She's knitted one or two jumpers for me over the years. She hasn't done for the last 10 or 20 years, but I don't even know where they are, to be honest with you. They were actually pretty cool when she did them. They're really
Yeah,
tight
yeah, yeah.
stitch, you know, a very famous knitted darn here in Ireland is iron sweaters. Very sought
Yeah.
after still, you know? But yeah, you're right. Maybe it's not Nike do it because I never tried knitting. I know they had
Right.
classes for that for the girls in home economics, but
Yeah.
not the boys. We went out and killed each other.
Of course.
Women went in and knitted.
It's not perceived as a manly thing to start
It's not
knitting.
macho. Not macho.
No, but it's
Yeah.
It's not a
useful.
macho thing, but it's useful. And I think, from a prepping standpoint, in a shit of the world situation, you need warm clothes.
Yeah.
If you know how to knit, you're
You have the sheep's wool and off you go. Yeah.
yeah.
I know how to
So,
make a reel of wool, all right, but
oh,
knitting,
really?
I'd be lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to get cheap, and then you have to cut the wool.
But the wool at the
Uh,
moment, and I was only looking at a documentary on TV the other day where the wool is worthless now. Back in Ireland in the 60s, 50s, 60s, the wool was money in the bank.
yeah,
It would be
Yeah.
bought off you by the tailors and the people who do the weaving.
yeah,
Now, because the clothes are so cheap, they buy them from Asia. The wool is cheap. It's just no good.
People
They
wear
use it for
plastic now.
insulation in the house. Yeah.
yeah.
People wear plastic.
And you can make stuff out of plastic. You can make yarn out of plastic. See guys turning plastic bottles into hats and
I mean,
Yeah.
if you
jackets
want to
and stuff.
buy woolen jumpers and silk clothes and all the real materials, it costs
Yeah,
you
it's
big
gonna
money.
be expensive.
But
Mm.
But
unfortunately,
again, like the buy once, cry once, it all depends on what you're gonna do with it. If some stuff sounds okay, now I'm losing my English here. Exorbitant, uh,
Exorbitant.
exorbitantly
Exorbitant. Yes.
exorbitant. Blah.
Exorbitantly.
We're gonna
Close enough.
we're
Close
gonna
enough.
have to spell that out for me. But
Bloody expensive.
you get my gist. It's like
yes,
Yes.
extremely. It sounds extremely expensive. But if you
Here's
start
a question for you. Would you still pay €1,500 for a suit today?
15.
That's the question. That's what you said you paid, €1,500 for a suit
Yeah,
today.
I think it
15
was
years
close.
ago.
It was no, it's not 15 years ago. It is like 7 years ago. But yeah,
I
I
rented
would.
my wedding suit.
Yeah, I would, I would do it again because I mean, I've used that suit for like everything. I've worked in that suit.
yeah.
So if you're gonna say how much did it cost per wear, it's not a lot.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
That's nit. Yeah,
I
that's
I
nit.
mean, then we're in like t-shirt territory.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that, and I think we might have to think more in that way for a lot of stuff. Like get the now we're getting far off maybe from high tech versus low tech, but I mean, in a way, it's both high tech and low tech at the same time. But I mean, it can be repaired. It's like my suit can be repaired, and that can be. I have taken it to the tailor several times because, yeah, like my waist became bigger and smaller and stuff like that. So and it can be adjusted, like at least probably 10 times. Yeah,
Can we move on to the next one and in the battery versus elbow grease? How about
yeah.
a wood stove versus a radiator? Wood stove versus electric heater,
Oh, you mean like an
underfloor
electrical
heating.
or
Well,
we
we're
can.
talking about traditional, and then we're talking about mechanical or convenience. So that's probably where we are. A wood stove is manual. You shovel it with timber, you put in coal, you have to clean it out. It gives off good heat,
Yeah.
but you get an earth to air heater. I think you have one in your garage and it's underground heating. I only had a discussion with a person the other day where if in the middle of the summer you turn your
Oof.
underground heating off and your earth to water or air to water, is that what you call them? Air to water? Air to heat?
Yeah.
Um,
Like
if you wanted
a
heat
heat pump.
immediately, that's not going to come and give you heat immediately. It's going to take 6 or 7 hours before that kicks in. Is that right? I don't have one. I have traditional wood stoves with radiators.
It's okay. I
So I have
don't.
the old way. Then you have the new one.
Yeah, we have. Okay, we have we have so many ways to heat our home, but not the one that we would really like. So I where we live, we don't have the opportunity really to get a wood stove or a wood. a fireplace. We would really, really like to have as
Remote,
a
or are
backup.
you in a city?
We are living in like the suburbs and in like this house is like a chain house, or what do you call it when you are connected to your neighbors, but yeah, but you also but you have your own garden and stuff like that,
Mm.
so it's
Mm.
Like
like
a
you have your own house, but not
like a
really.
townhouse.
Yeah, yeah. So
And you're not allowed a wood stove.
we are, but it's built in a way that it is extremely expensive to. You have to reroute part of the water-based floor heating to get the chimney and stuff like that. So it gets at
Really?
least
I
double
would have
the
thought it was
price.
extremely easy.
Yeah.
So so
Because
so
here everything is A-rated for a new house. You can't put a wood stove here anymore. They
Really?
want all of our they want all of our timber stoves out, coal stoves, because it's bad for the environment. But when the power goes down,
They can't tax
when
it.
the
That's
power
why.
goes, you can't heat your house, and that was proven during a couple of storms last year.
yeah, but it's also that if everybody would do it, we wouldn't have enough fuel.
Mm.
So what we have done, we have what's it called? It's called you have the heat, the air from inside the house, and no, it goes to a heat pump before it
Mhm.
gets blown outside, and the heat pump uses that heat to heat water. So
Mm.
it's like the
Uh-huh.
ones you have outside, but instead of taking instead of stealing heat from the outside air, you are stealing from the inside air.
But your
And you
pump is running 24. It
yes,
never stops.
it
There
never
you go.
stops. And then in addition to that, we have like the AC air conditioning, but with heating as well. So we have air to air, and that one is
Uh-huh.
really really quick. If we get a drop in temperature outside, that before we got the air to air system, it would be like, oh, it would be cold here for like
It'll give
3
you a
days.
boost.
Yeah. So it
Mhm.
actually it corrects the temperature in like 10 minutes. It's
Yeah.
insane. And also
But it
those
must
two
eat a
heat
lot of.
pumps, they help each other out. So it gets cheaper.
But is
So
that an expensive system overall?
yes, I would say that the not counting like the water-based pipes and stuff inside, just the heat pumps. I would say
Yeah.
the heat pump, the main heat pump, the one that takes the indoor air. I would say that's like 15,000 euros.
Fuck yeah. Excuse my
And
French.
Mhm.
and so those were installed when we bought the house. They
Yeah.
installed
Yeah.
these everywhere. It's
Yeah,
like the
that's the
only
European norm at the
yeah,
moment.
it's like the only thing you have in Sweden. It's heat pumps. You have heat pumps for everything.
I
So it's
disagree with
either
that so
heat
much.
pumps for from taking indoor air, or it's from taking outdoor air, or it's a 100-meter borehole down into the ground taking ground heat. So
Yeah.
so everything is heat pumps in
Yeah.
Sweden. So they base everything off that, and it's very effective and it works very well. But we would
I'd
like
say
to
you must
have
have had the Green Party there for a while.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I
The
think
Green
I
Party were
don't
pushing these for years. Now they're
yeah,
gone
I
from
Yeah.
our country. No Green Party.
no, I
Get
don't
out.
know why, but it's like if you compare it to like using electricity for
Mm.
heating, it's like a 5-to-1 ratio.
Mhm.
So it's like five times more effective. It's insane. But
S
so we wanted to have like a fireplace in
Yes.
case power goes out, but we can't. So
Why
not
can't you? Are you not allowed?
realistically. No, no, we are allowed. The problem is just how the building is built. We would
Building
have
is made of
to
stone or timber?
no, it's concrete
Mhm.
and a lot of stuff. But the problem is that we would have to make a hole in the floor, and in the floor is they have put
I have an idea how
they
to
have,
fix your whole problem.
yeah, so they have to put the floor heating is in the concrete, and you have to
I
reroute
understand how
it.
it works, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what expensive.
Okay. You need to move house, out the country.
But we got like the gas heater instead as a backup,
Ah.
and ways to
Mm,
close off the house.
yeah. I have the oil central heating, the wood stove heating. I've got small camper heaters, which are under 200 watts, which I can use with my power bank. very efficient for heating one room. And other than that, we've never had an issue. And we had kerosene as well, but a little bit smelly, but that's really, really,
Yeah.
really a last resort.
I think overall, I think the best from a prepping standpoint of view, I think the best way is to have some kind of fuel like a wood burner or diesel heater or something like that, because it's more sustainable in a prepping situation. Having pumps and stuff, anything that uses electric to heat is gonna, if the grid goes down, your battery to
Actually, them
maintain
diesel
that.
heaters for vans are brilliant. That might work for you, Jim, connected to your existing system. And they're very, very inexpensive, very light on diesel, and they have their own little tanks. Chinese one, 300 quid. See them in vans the whole time.
But for a backup, I mean, Jim, for a backup situation, in the grid down situation, that's ideal. If you can't have a wood burner or a fireplace, then it's the next best thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what we do have is the gas, like a gas furnace that uses, like the 10 kilo tanks, and one of those tanks would last about, if my calculations are correct, one tank would last like 3 days.
Hmm.
So it's not a long term thing unless you can
No,
like get new tanks. But I would think neither would like diesel be. And diesel is more not as fun using indoors. I think not inside the house, maybe in like a garage. But
my parents use diesel heater in their house, and they get on with it fine.
oh,
Um, so yeah, for
See
a
them?
backup, um,
So there are diesel heaters there and start from
yeah,
€97 up to 300.
yeah. They
Very,
also
very,
have, they have wood stoves and stuff like that and fireplaces, so they use that, but they also have a diesel heater
yeah.
as a backup, and it's very efficient. So, um, yeah.
The problem I see with diesel is that you can't store it for very long. So we have a diesel car, and I have
Mhm.
like 40 liters extra, and I get the HVO uh, diesel for storage, and like
Mhm.
twice the price than normal diesel. But I'm still
Right.
hesitant to store it for longer than like a year, because it starts to grow bacteria and stuff in it that
Yeah. Right, and still, a year is quite a long time for considering it's, fuel. Petrol won't last that long for sure.
no, unless you get the like specialty stuff that's like really expensive. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like a bottle of oil, probably. It's like, yeah, just it's an additive to the fuel
Yeah.
and it keeps it
yeah,
for
yeah, but
longer.
also like the old new petrol is often mixed with like ethanol and stuff, and it becomes. I think it draws water. Someone of our listeners might school me on this, but I think it draws water. So for instance, if you have like a lawnmower, they want you to get the expensive kind of petrol that you can't get at the gas station, because it works like in the summer, but then you put the lawnmower in the shed for like the winter, and when you get back, it doesn't work. It's
You're meant to
water in the
drain them out.
yeah.
You're
So
supposed to
Mm.
drain them out
so
before you store them.
so for instance, my my dad had his parents' old car in storage, and that car was filled up with just ordinary petrol, but now 30 years ago or something. And and then it stood in my dad's mom and dad's garage for like 20 years. And he actually just started it and drove off. But the difference is that the petrol now is not the same as the petrol used to be.
Yeah, it used to be lead lined.
Yeah, but also that, but also I think it wasn't lead in, I think it was lead free, but I think it's more like the ethanol and stuff that they add to it because of the environmental things.
Yeah, so they say. But I think it's also true to say for a lot of things now, the way they produce things is just not meant to last anymore. And I
No.
think it's done by design, obviously, because they don't want you to store things. They want you to buy things and throw them away and buy again, because they need to make money. But yeah, But going back to the whole fuel thing, I think the best way is obviously as a backup, for prepping point of view, is definitely wood stoves and things
Yeah.
like that. I think you can't beat
Mm.
that.
But it also
We
requires like planning
mm,
because and even let's say you have access. Let's say you have the best situation. So you have like a modern in Sweden that would be that you have like a modern house that's well insulated and you have both a modern heating system that's cheap in the normal days. And then you have, for backup, you have like a really good wood stove that is also connected to the water. And you can have like water systems that are gravity based. So when you
Mm.
pump in the warm water, it will, because of just that colder water is heavier, it will flow naturally. So there are systems like that. You could have that, but then you need to remember. And let's say you just have access to trees, to forest, to wood. Then you have to be like a year, half a year in advance to know, like, oh, I gotta have wood, because wood for like winter is a lot of wood for burning.
Do you don't you have imports of coal as well into Sweden?
No, I would say no. No,
No,
we have no coal at
really. You
all.
you supply all your heating is wood only, like America. Well, we
Yeah,
have
wood
coal here,
and
and we've a
pellets.
mix.
Pellets. So wood pellets.
Yeah, but that was a thing 10 years ago here. The wood pellets 10, 15 years ago. The issue here in Ireland is we're damp. It's a damp country. England, Ireland are damp in the
Yeah.
winter, and the wood pellets have to be kept at around 98% humidity, dry for it to work efficiently. I think they might have fixed it now, but for me, if I left a bag of wood pellets out in the shed, it'd be damp,
the wood pellets are a big thing here too, and but also here is very very humid, very damp.
very
Yeah.
dry.
Yeah, no. It's very it's very humid here. Like the humidity is insane. Like in the winter, I think if you leave, quite a lot of the houses here have a problem with like humidity and dampness and things like that. So especially here in the
Air
south, yeah.
circulation.
Yeah, so, but people still use the pellets here. I mean, we had in the last apartment that we had a pellet burner.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's still, they say, oh no, because it's cheaper. But the thing is, it's not really, because you buy the pellets, then you've got to use the electric to run the thing.
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
works
Yeah.
out, this even more expensive.
Yeah. So
So-
here in Sweden, pellets are used. It's the primary heating system. For example, we have a children's preschool just outside here, and they have a big pellet burner, a furnace. And it's that's like that house is like 3 years old.
Mm.
It was built from scratch like 3 years old, 3 years ago. So no, sorry, four maybe. But uh, so it's I wouldn't say that is like a backup system here. The backup system here, if we have that is like wood that you split with an axe.
Yeah. But I don't
That
think pellet burners are a good backup system because, like I said, they use
No.
electric too, and then you have the air. Yeah, and then you have the air to pump the air out. So anything that uses to heat things up, to pump air, whatever, is going to be so expensive and energy, a load of energy, and it's not going to be sustainable, should we say?
I'm really keen on these diesel generators are looking really good. 12-volt pump. So you can jury rig or you can rig it handy enough to work completely off grid, which is what they are.
yeah.
I was always thinking of getting one, but I never needed one. I have a log cabin in my garden that I don't use because it's too cold. That would be the ideal scenario down there. Actually, that's
Yeah,
not a bad idea now. Now that I think of it, I'll have to
but
put
yeah,
one in there.
there's another situation. I'm going to throw the whole conversation off now.
Go for it.
Because the high tech versus low tech, and this is where the high tech's gone and worked in the opposite way.
Oh,
Um, yes. This phone that I have, this beast of a phone, is very
Big
much
brick.
high tech because it does a lot more than what a normal phone would do. So it can have like a night vision camera on it. It's also a UHF, VHF radio, not just a phone. So when I'm in Spain with visiting my parents and they live in the sticks, I can use this and speak to my father when he's using his walkie-talkies and things like that.
That's cool.
And not just that, it's also indestructible. So
yeah.
Can you
like,
send me a link
it's
to that? I want to have a look at it as you're talking about it.
yeah.
What's the
And
what's the model?
This is a UL phone. I'll send you the link, and it also has a lot of other features on there, which I can't, so many features. It's also an underwater camera as well, so it's very
I
much
have it
high
here.
tech. It's almost very much high tech, but this will last me forever. Well, not forever, obviously, but it's not.
It's an
And it's not.
Android, is it?
Yeah, it's Android. Also, it doesn't force updates on me like all the other ones do.
Mm.
All the other systems, they force updates on you
Yeah.
and things like that, which consume battery, which then eventually you'll have to buy a new one. So it's very much hardware and not software. This phone, which is what I like about it. So it should last me a very long time. Also because it doesn't break easy, and also it costs a lot less than what an iPhone would. This cost me. I think I bought it, which kind of pissed me off because I bought it and it was €650. But now I saw one the other day
Sport.
for yeah, I saw one for like €450. I was like, damn it. So it costs a fraction of,
Would you
these modern
recommend it though?
phones.
You would?
Oh yeah. Oh
It's
yeah,
got a uni
100%. Yeah. You can yeah, and you can also get like the 2 terabyte of memory also, which is insane. So it says Frank's not being recorded anymore.
Oh,
What's happened?
that's weird.
Yes, Frank.
So I guess that no one hears Frank now. Now he is lost in space.
Yeah. Frank,
But
Frank is
when, why while we wait for Frank to find his way back to his friends, I
Frank!
looked up the word that I failed to pronounce earlier, exorbitantly, and I just had AI translate it or explain it, and I think it was really funny. And so when we are talking about the iPhone and how expensive it
Yeah,
is,
I'm not sure what
I
happened there. I was
agree.
immune from that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah. We
see
carried
it.
on without you, and we thought that you might find your way back, but
So
but
His
this
way.
is more high tech than an iPhone,
yeah.
and it's cheaper than an iPhone, but it will also last me a lot longer. And again, I don't think I'd be able to repair this very easily, but hopefully I won't have to repair it because it's
No.
indestructible. That's
Yeah, but I just got a
Am I recording
exorbitantly.
now?
yes, you're recording now. Yes, right. You found your way back.
Oh yeah.
So it's
Ooh, hang on.
expensive.
4.
Now we have 2 Franks.
Do we have two francs? This is too much francs.
I think you have to close your other window
Yeah.
on
One is
Riverside.
at least muted. That's good.
There we are.
No.
We
Good.
kick one out. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
we only have 1 franc. Yes.
Upload is done. It's uploading away. It's 50%
Okay.
anyway.
Perfect.
I don't know.
I
I don't
thought
know
this
what
was
happened there.
so funny. It said it was expensive beyond proper limits. And that's so true. Like the iPhone is expensive beyond the proper limits.
It's like
And
well, you
it
buy an
shouldn't
iPhone.
be that.
No, you buy an iPhone, it costs you like €1,200 and it lasts about 6 months.
Yeah, it's
I like the
insane.
walkie-talkie part of that. I bought one of them from Alibaba there a couple of years ago, and it lasted only about an hour because I couldn't get the SIM card into it. And when I did force it in, it damaged it.
No,
So I
this
Oh,
just
is
threw it in
this
the bin.
this is I've had this now for over 6 months. It's tried and tested.
Yeah.
It's been underwater. I took it to the beach and went swimming with it underwater. It didn't break. I've used the walkie-talkie. I've used the night vision camera. Everything works perfect, and
Yeah.
it's as fast it's as fast as the first day I bought it. So yeah,
yeah.
highly recommend it. So that's where high tech
Yeah.
wins on on this phone.
Yeah, on
I
that
I
phone,
I
high
agree
tech
with you there
wins.
on that, yeah.
Affordable high tech.
Yeah, affordable high tech.
Yeah. So
You can see that, yes?
Yeah. It's a good phone. And so it works off
There it
grid
is.
too. So amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But also I think high tech. You have to if we're gonna go back to where we began. Uh, if you have like a situation where you don't have access to everything, then power will be limited.
Sure.
Electricity will be limited. So you will have to choose where you use your high tech, like electronic or
Mhm.
fuel based stuff. Where will it give you the most? Where will it benefit you the most? And for everything
Yeah.
else, go low tech. I mean, like
Yes.
you maybe you want to whisk your cream, you want to whip your cream with like an electronic, whatever it's called, you will use a balloon whisk.
Yeah.
Why
So
did you show me that? Now I'm going to have to go and buy one of these phones. You know that?
And a diesel heater. And a diesel heater.
Yes, I would mind it easily. That's cheap enough. The phone
Your wi-
looks interesting.
your wife's gonna hate me because I'm making you spend money.
I don't tell her. If she doesn't know what half to what I spend, Jesus. And I scare myself when I see the invoices. When the postman comes, it's like Christmas every week because I have no idea what I bought. But I have a list
you
and
know,
I tick them off.
someday the day of reckoning will come, and your wife will be cleaning the house, and then she will auction off stuff for
Gotta hide behind
like
second.
70% of the price you said you paid.
It's like your man in America. She comes in and sells his guns. My husband said this gun was bought for $150. Your man crying 4 or 5,000. Your
And
man,
then you
he
can't
never
say
gave it away.
anything. You're like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
yeah, well done, but I kind of like that one.
yeah. I have a friend of mine. He did the very same. He bought a deer hunting rifle. Oh, it was extremely expensive, and she hadn't got a clue because I remember talking to her about it, and she was there saying, "Oh, he's a new hobby, all this shit." It wasn't. It was a very expensive
Yeah.
hobby. I think he had to get rid of the car as well, and he got himself a Jeep, so he was starting to get all deer hunter mode, and everything was costing a fortune. So,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Well,
But
Where are we?
the hobbies might be might get to cost money. It depends on where you are not spending the money. So for instance, us three, I would say we spend more money on prepping stuff than, and to people not into it who doesn't understand why we think it's fun, they would think it's stupid, because why would you
Remember,
ever
this
do
is a
that?
hobby.
No, but we like it.
well, not just that. These are things that I use all the time and I use every day. So to someone else, it might be like, it's a waste of money. But these things also don't just help me; they help others and things like that. You know, there's been countless times where
Everything is
I've
not
got
like that.
one of those portable showers. It's like a pump that you
Yeah,
put in a bucket of water and it pumps the water.
yeah,
Yeah,
Do you know how many times
this
I've
must be
used
good.
that when the boiler's broken and whatever? We've got the pots
yeah,
and pans out and we've then been like filling up buckets and I've put that in there and we've had a hot shower
yeah,
when there's been no hot water. Things
yeah. Yeah.
I've seen a girl. She was digging a trench for a sewer for a new electrical pipe, and she came back and it was full of rainwater. Oh, I have a pump in the van. She went in, she got one of them, pumped it out. She was so delighted with it. It's a very and it's easily fixed. It's easy filter, clean the
That's the
filter.
good thing with our
Yeah.
hobby, that
Yeah, useful.
sometimes it
Yes.
pays off big time.
A big
Uh-huh.
time.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
also have a lot of stuff that I legitimately got just because I thought it was fun.
Oh yeah. That
And then you
looks
never
good.
use it. And then you never use it.
I'm holding what you think is a pen. It's not.
Yeah.
You know what that
Oh,
is?
what's that? Is that laser?
It's a infrared pen, and it sees all the marks, the dirt, and all the shit that you shouldn't see, and it's brilliant.
Yeah,
I
an
got going around the house the
ultraviolet.
other day. Yes, blacklight.
Ultraviolet.
Another gadget, and I have 2 or 3 of them, and I know the wife was looking for one the other day.
I think so I think the moral of the story is low tech wins most of the time. Yeah, but like every episode though, it shouldn't just be one or the other. It should be layered. It should be layered.
Both have their place. And
Yes.
I would say that it's wrong to say high tech and low tech, because it's, it's like it's like a scale, like everything. So you have, for me, for example, I would have like I have a battery powered screwdriver, but I also have drills that go from the mains,
Hmm.
and it's good to have options.
Yes.
So don't get stuck in like one thing. You have to get this, and this
Yes.
is the only thing.
So what's your primary one? Are you gonna go with old school or new school?
I would say like this. I'm gonna say like this. If you are getting something and it's not like you need it for a very special task, like I'm gonna screw in 3,000 screws, then I will then I will get a battery
You
powered
have no choice.
screwdriver. But like, for example, if your child is moving out, you give them like a toolkit with like an ordinary screwdriver and a hammer and
Sure.
a file and a handsaw and
IKEA say
I
don't
mean,
use electric drills.
yeah. So like, yeah, exactly. I would never use. I would never use an electric screwdriver, an electric yes for
Torque driver.
a machine screw. Never. And I would never do it on like IKEA stuff.
Absolutely. Do not ever use a torque screwdriver or an electric screwdriver on the back of a TV
No, no, no,
when
no,
you're
no, no,
putting
no,
on
no,
the
no.
brackets. Absolutely do not do that. I've never done that, but I've seen people who have them.
Yeah,
I work in that
I
industry.
wouldn't because all that stuff is perfectly well done with like the hand tools, and you feel what you're doing. And I mean, if you are up to you are going like build a house, or you're like build a shed, or you're like build whatever that's bigger. Yeah, get some, but still, like you don't really need an like circular saw until
No,
you're gonna do a lot,
until you need it.
because like an ordinary handsaw will be a lot quicker than you think, and if it's sharp, you will get nice cuts as well. But that's also like learn how to do nice cuts with a handsaw.
This is what I was about to say. There's a lot of skill that goes into using hand tools. I'm not going to say anyone can use an electrical, the mechanical stuff, because it's not true. And there still is some certain level of skill to using that sort of stuff, but there's more skill in getting good at using the manual stuff, So like you
Yeah.
said, I think it's start and learn with the manual stuff first, because I bet there's a lot of people out there who do certain jobs nowadays that are very good with the mechanical stuff, but you ask them to do the same job with some of the manual stuff and they wouldn't know where to start, But yeah, I'm not going to speak myself because I'm not too DIY minded myself. I'm still learning. But yeah, but I learn with the manual stuff. I don't really own too many mechanical tools, put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm going to
So,
go by saying, before we wind it up here, we're up on time, I'd say, but I'm going to go with saying that mechanical is secondary. As you said, when you need the equipment, you're building a new house, you're going to go out and buy some certain equipment. But I will say manual wins hands down. That would be my go-to, manual. Except you're doing a thousand screws into a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for prepping,
from a prepping standpoint, manual, has to win because it's more sustainable. It's about sustainability.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah. Once you
it's
have-
often it less parts. It won't break, and I mean like a bubble level or a laser level, or like a long tape measure, or like a laser distance meter. I mean like you don't need, if you're not gonna do like a lot of work and you need to be very very effective, you come a long way with the manual stuff.
Yes.
No, if I was Lewis,
it's
because I'm
more
not buying a new house,
intuitive.
I'd have all this new equipment. So you
Yeah,
have to
but
stop
also you
spending
can
stop spending on a new generator and go out and get yourself a circular saw and a bandsaw and jigsaw and all of the equipment that you need, tenon saws and all that. So so yeah, I think that for today, I think that we covered a good topic there
Yeah.
today.
yeah.
It's not
I think
covered
so.
very often, I'm sure, but it's
No.
nice to get it to talk about it anyway.
Yeah, something
So
different.
you want to wrap it up then, Lewis?
Yeah, that's it. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. If anyone wants to find out more about the Prepper Network and our groups that are within the Prepper Network, be sure to go over to thepreppernetwork.org and check out our groups. You can find Jim's group there and Frank's group and my group. You come join the community of like-minded preppers with our tinfoil hats. And
Let us know
I'm
if we're
sure
doing a
you'll
good job or not.
Yeah, and let us know if you're enjoying the podcast or if you're not enjoying the podcast. And if you want us to cover any certain topics, just let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you again.
Take it easy,
Talk to you
guys.
again, lads.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.